Hello, this is Audrey. I'd like to welcome you to day 16 of the 25 days of Copilots. Today, I'm going to show you how you can create an entire website with Copilot for Power Pages. This is a true game changer. So, what we're thinking here is, opposed to kind of going through the steps that we used to go through to build a website, sometimes with several developers, some handling pages, some handling data, others handling forms. You often have that situation where you've got multiple people doing different things. I'm going to, all by myself, build a website today. Now, this doesn't mean I suggest you don't want other players in the field. I'm just going to show you how easy it is for me by myself and I to do this. All right. Now, there's some getting started steps, but they are super easy. You can get started doing this yourself in minutes. You need a developer plan environment. Okay. And in the description, you'll see a link to where you can get instructions on how to get started with a dev plan environment. Then you need to navigate to make.powerpages.microsoft.com. And then you need to start talking to the Copilot in natural language, as we have been doing with all the other Copilots, to build our site. And then we'll tweak the results we get with point-and-click actions and, of course, Copilot's help. All right, so let's navigate over to make.powerpages.microsoft.com, because I've already got a dev plan all ready for this. All right, and you'll see up here, usually you can tell a dev plan environment by its name. It's named after you if you build it using the link in the description below. But the key thing here is you want the environment type. If you look in the little bubble on the left of where I'm hovering, you'll see that the environment type is developer and the data platform is Dataverse. And this is what happens when you build a dev plan. So you'll have everything you need to get started with Copilot and with Power Pages. All right. So I am in that environment, so nothing for me to do. Let's start building. All right. So here's a scenario that I'm going to have. I hope there's some of you that could resonate with this scenario. But it's a retail scenario, and I could be just about in any area of retail and do something very similar. I'm going to create a website for my business which sells chessboards. Now, in addition to selling chessboards, how I engage with my audiences is by telling them chess news, chess tricks and tips, and, kind of engaging them with their goals as chess players. So I'm going to put a lot of that in this description. So create a website where we can offer chess related products such as boards and clocks. Include pages for chess tips and a page about famous can't spell chess players. Let's see. Include pages for include a page. I don't need pages for chess tips, events and tournaments, and a page about famous chess players. So basically, use your prompt to let Copilot know the components that are critical to you, what are really important to you. And Copilot is going to be very smart to recognize the scenario and offer you help. All right. So create a website where we can offer chess-related products such as boards and clocks. And I might say chessboards just to be specifically sure that it understands. I find that Copilots do best with a level of specifics. Include a page for chess tips, events and tournaments, and a page about famous chess players. Now, I'm assuming it'll recognize the context for clocks, but I won't be surprised if perhaps we get real clocks. We'll see how it goes. And again, every time I do this, I actually find new tips and tricks just in doing this. So try this scenario out in your dev plan and try different prompts, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and send that, and let's wait a couple of minutes to see what it comes up to. Now, first thing it gives us, and that was pretty quick, is a suggested site name. I'm just amazed at this because who would have thought of Chess Emporium? I don't know who would have thought of that, but 10,000 points for you if you would. And I just think that's perfect for my goal. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that name, but of course I can change this. And this represents the site prefix, which doesn't have anything to do with the domain, which you'll learn more about in some other video. But it kind of is what the web address is, internal web address for this site. So then I'm going to hit next. And it wants me to pick a layout. And so you've probably used Power Pages before, I'm assuming. I could be wrong. And when you say new site, it gives you all these template layouts. So this is not using Copilot, just using Power Pages out of the box. You say new site, it gives you about 10 different layouts to choose from. In this case, it is suggesting a layout for the context of my site based on what I've said to the Copilot. And I can look at it and see if I like it. So there's chess tips, events and tournaments, and famous chess players. If I click try again, now it's going to retry that effort. So I can press try again as many times as I want. And each time I click it, I'll get a new layout, right? And so I actually like this second layout more than I like the first one, but I can click this as many times as I want. Notice we actually already have navigation, including a thing that you can actually look at here to see how it works, a place to shop in our chess shop, which is the goal of our chessboard and clock situation. And then those tips and events and play. So everything that we asked for is right here already. So I'm going to hit next. And it says, would you like to add any other pages now? All right. These are ready to use pages that could save you some time. So yes, I want the contact us page. That way they can reach out to us with questions. And the chess tips page, which would be the page that you would get after you click on the link on the home page, I think we'll go ahead and add that as well and say done. So it'll make suggestions, but we can always add other pages using the Copilot as well. So I'm going to hit done. And let's look and see what we get here. I'm so excited. I love this little animation because it really does depict what Power Pages is doing. It's kind of a point and click build of a fully responsive site where people can work together, publish the site to the web, and then easily implement it for their users to access from their desktop. So just love that animation. It really does tell the story of what Power Pages really is. So we'll give it a minute and then we'll see what it comes up with. And it's getting things ready. Now, it'll give us some kind of helpful pop-ups. If this is the first time that we've used this, it'll kind of help us understand the Designer Studio, and that's where we are right now. And so I would suggest you walk through those bubbles just to understand kind of what you're looking at as far as the designer. Like you notice you have Copilot here on the right, helping you out, right here, ready to assist. You have your main navigation over here. You have some components here that you may have used in Power Pages for styling, for data, for setup. But we're going to continue working with the Copilot this morning. There's many things to learn here. But what I want to point out, first of all, is how impressed I am with the way it's predicted good topics for my website. On the home page, it shows chessboards for every player, wide selection of chessboards, shop chessboards, um, shop chess clocks, right? And maybe it doesn't have the picture of a clock. That's okay. One thing I love about Power Pages, I talk about point and click tweaks, right? Click on the word image, click on the image, on the image itself, and then click on the word image, and you can change this one. This is an image that has been associated with a URL. I'm going to click on stock images and then type chess clock. And this is what I mean by tweaking. And of course, I don't see one. And that could happen because these have to be kind of royalty free and blah, 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 blah. So if you don't find the image that you want in these stock images and you don't have a pre-existing URL, you can go get one. So if I just go into Bing and I just type chess clock here and then hit images, I will see a bunch of chess clocks, right? Let's pick one that we think looks really cool. Let's take this one. And you want to just click view image so that you can see the URL. All right. Now, this is great for sketching out websites and such. Oh, I want to click on URL first because it's not a stock image, and then paste this in there. You may want to control where these images are stored. In other words, you might want to set up a blob storage or something so that your links, right, they're always going to work. Somebody deleting that clock won't break your site, right? So think about things like that. But look how easy it is for me to tweak this, right? And then the chess tips. Now this one probably already works because remember we added a chess tips page. So we'll look and check on that. And then we have a place for events and we have a place for famous chess players. This one I'm really curious what Copilot might do. So I'm going to go into my Copilot and just type create a page for famous chess players with at least 3 well-known chess champions in the world. Okay, how about that? And then we'll send that. The foundation model can have access to that information because it's powered by GPT. And let's see what it comes up with for this new page. And we'll just give that a minute. And voila, we have a new page. And surprises of surprises, all of these names are chess champions in the world. And I just think that is pretty amazing. Now, I have tried to change images to people, and there may be some filters in there. So I don't, but let's give it a try anyway today. I'm just going to select the image and say, change this image to a picture of Gary Kasparov. My suspicion here is that there may be a filter of some kind because this doesn't work. It gives me a theme instead. And so I won't use it for that. But just like I searched before for a chess clock, I can search for a picture of Gary, get a URL for Gary's picture, and then paste that into the image URL. Or I can add to the media library just by uploading it. So I have a media every image that I've ever uploaded to this site is here, plus the things suggested by Power Pages, but I can upload my own to that media library. But in this case, I'm just going to use a link I found on the web, and then there I have my image with Gary. And I can do the same thing for Magnus, and just find one of my favorite pictures about a website. I'm going to view image. I don't like these really long URLs. So if they get really long and start having slashes, I don't like to use those. You want simple URLs for the most part. And again, if you're doing this for your website permanently, then you might want to think about pulling URLs from a blob storage or something that you can control. All right. So I'm going to be happy with that one. And you can do that for each of these pictures until you have 3 pictures that you want for this site. And sometimes when I see it doesn't fit perfectly, I don't mind skewing it slightly just for a draft. But you can also just replace the image to something that is more aspect ratio friendly to your page. So love that. Really easy to do. Okay, so we have our pages set up. Let's do a quick preview here. Notice when I do a preview, I have a couple of options. I can scan this QR code with my phone and there immediately test it on my phone. That just blows me away right there. These are fully responsive, but it's so fun to just test it in, 1 minute, test it on your phone. You will have to sign in with your credentials to the tenant, but super easy. 1 minute, you're looking at the mobile version. But I'm going to use the desktop version here. Here I have my famous chess players. This was the page I was on, right? But if I go home, I can actually play out this site, navigate this site, see what I need to change. Now, remember we added those chess tips? So let's see if that's connected. Okay, we might have to connect that one. And then here's the famous chess players. These buttons are not connected. So we go back to our designer and we already created the page for them. So let's go to home. And we have the page for chess tips. So all we do here is hit edit and then link to a page and you'll be able to select your pages. No formulas needed. All right. Here I want, let's see if I can click this one and then click edit and then link to a page. And this is the famous chess players page. So basically that's how easy it is. You create the pages and then you configure them to the buttons. Really super simple. I do want to add one more page, and I think we need a page for, let's do the tips. No, we did the tips. So let's see what they look like. Just tips. Want to improve your game? Check out tips and tricks. Now, I want you to know that I've done this slightly different before, but let's add a section here. So add a section with 3 categories of chess tips and tricks. So I'm adding a section to this page with 3 categories of chess tips and tricks, right? As opposed to just kind of going to another page, I'm going to add a section to this page. Okay? And then let's see. Add a section with 3 categories. So let's do this. Add 3 categories of chess tips topics. Let's try that. You're not going to always delete the sections I don't want. Okay? And now, as a chess player, I'm super impressed that Copilot picked the 3 things that the average chess player would be interested in: opening strategies, tactics and tricks, and time management. So I can keep this section, but I want to remove this one. So whenever you want to remove a section, you just select it first, hit its 3 dots, and press delete. You can also, as you saw there, move it up, move it down, or duplicate it. But basically now we have our chess tip page pre-populated with chess tips. I might create a page for opening strategies, right? So create a page. Let's just create that. And basically you see that me and Copilot and I are working very collaboratively together, where it's generating, I'm supervising, I'm agreeing with, disagreeing with, and tweaking. And my tweaks are literally very quick point and clicks. And then it has, then I can validate through those points and clicks exactly what I want, right? So now we've got an opening strategy a page with some interesting topics. Now, why we moved into tennis and golf and basketball, it's possible that this is being added because it's thinking, okay, maybe you want something related, but if you get something you don't like, this happens with generative AI, right? Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it, okay? You can easily change the text to opening tricks. And then maybe I'll have a page for opening tricks, right? So I'm just kind of tweaking. That's all I'm doing, right? Then I'll go back to my home page. And when I get to tips and tricks, I'll go to it's tips and tricks page. Now I can configure this read more button to be that new opening strategies page. So super, super simple stuff. You can't get much easier than this. One more thing I would like to add to this page is let's go to the famous chess players page. And we love seeing videos, right? Basically, whatever you want, just ask, right? And you'll find out whether it will or won't give you what you're asking for. And as you get better at building prompts, which April's going to talk about that, you're going to be able to see how simple it is to do this. And then these are the different components. I want to add a video. And you can add YouTube's stream or a video URL. I'm going to add one from YouTube. I already have selected the latest tournament at Sinkfield, and I'm just going to paste that in here. And voila, I have a video on my famous chess players page. There are a couple of settings I really love here. If you go into settings, you can tell it to autoplay and loop, which kind of keeps that video constantly starting if that's what you want. You can also, after you do that, you can go into the format and put a shadow. And if you notice, are you seeing the shadow grow as on the edges of the video, there's a nice little shadow that I really love. And then I can round the corners. Look at that. I think that's like, what kind of HTML code do I need for that? All right. Now that video may not allow embedding, so it could be the video that I picked. Let's pick a different video. We'll just pick any other video. So if embedding is not allowed, then it won't let you put that video, play that video. So just check that your video has embedding allowed. And then I'm going to click OK. And there we go. And now if I preview this page on the desktop, we'll see in my famous, I now have a running video on this page. And I changed it, so therefore I need to turn that looping on and so forth. But bam, and basically all I have to do is tweak, right? As opposed to needing to know how to build websites and HTML5 and Bootstrap and all of that stuff. I can just say what I want and let Copilot help me. I might move Copilot down in my navigation. We need a page for our chess boards, right? Chess boards for every player. Okay, this is the last one. Create a page with an image gallery of our chess boards for sale. And then send. And so we'll get another page here. This page would be the one I would put under the Shop Now button. But you see, I'm just asking for the page, and then it's going to put it together. In some cases, I'll have to tweak it. And of course, in a shop page, in that chessboards for sales page, which I might push up to the top here, what's important is I need my real images, right? But I can scroll down here: wooden chessboards, marble chessboards, glass chessboards, metal chessboards, plastic chessboards. Maybe I change this one to travel chessboards, and I put that other image, right? If you want to use an image more than once, it'll be in your image library. And I had a travel chessboard once upon a time, I thought. And if I don't, there we go. That's a little tiny travel chessboard. And now my site is sketched out. I can share it with my team. I can get some tips around how this is working, how it feels. They can interact with me. We can all work on this together until we get this where we want it to be. But are you like blown away as I was to see just how simple it is to create these sites, sketch them out in just minutes, and then you revise them and you change the text as you need. But sometimes just getting a good strong wireframe is 9/10 of the work. So, and I just wanted you to see how intelligent the Copilot's artificial intelligence is in its ability to look up what's related to chess, what's related to tactics, what's related to these different things. So, tomorrow we're going to continue our investigation of Copilot in Power Pages and show you how to do forms over data. So that'll be tomorrow. But for today, I'm going to say this is it for the 16th day of the 25 days of Copilots. I wish you a happy holiday and I thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.